one?
You know, Coach, I think it would be inappropriate in one stance, but in another way, I would be remiss if I didn't talk to you a bit about Coach Tom Penders leaving the University of Houston. Your name is a name that has come up around town, a lot of it admittedly because I've been barking at you, the man for the job over there. And I don't believe that takes you away from Yates, because I see the basketball community in Houston as a fraternity, ensemble. And so I guess I'll pose a question this way. Give me your thoughts on, especially that since Coach Penders has been resigned. Give me your thoughts on what do you think would be the best direction for the University of Houston program to go that's going to be most beneficial to the entire basketball community in the city of Houston?
If you don't mind, one thing I wanted to quote on what we were just talking about when you were mentioning the scores. A lot of people don't know. If you go back and look at Bel Air's last baseball score, and it's going to say 8-0 on the paper, where they actually won that game 28-0. So if you get what I'm saying in terms of how people want to portray things and make things look, you make it look like.
And that was in the Houston Chronicle. You recall who wrote the article?
No, I don't even know if it was an article, but the box score has this 8-0, and the score was actually 28-0. So
great point. So, but in regard to the U of H question, I'm really interested in your thoughts on that, because I just feel that with your momentum right now in the area, I think that someone of your ilk would be ideal for the situation. You're a Houstonian, you live in the immediate community, you have business interest in the city, which to me indicates that you would be as likely of a candidate to stick around for a while if you were to become a part of that program. And it would be a good opportunity for a school like Yates to be able to follow talent, into the school and keep things close to home. You know what I mean? So your thoughts on that?
Let me say this first. I haven't called them. They haven't called me. But if you look at it from my standpoint, what I feel, in terms of a coach at that school, I've had opportunity to leave the area, so obviously Houston is where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing no one could do to make me come and leave Houston. So in terms of that wouldn't be an issue. In terms of getting kids, that would be, I know they talked about recruiting in Houston,
right.
But that would be the easiest thing in the world for me. I've actually had kids that have called, and parents that have called and asked if I was going over, and even kids that have already committed to school that said that they would come if that was the case, and I would just let them know that that's not even an issue because I had called them, they had called me.
Yeah.
But from the standpoint of what I feel in terms of, I think I would be getting the best talent around in the country just from here, not even have to leave the area, maybe for a couple of kids, but we have great kids here, great talent here, and because of our system, the kids love our system, and we got some, we could, Yates would be full of kids now in terms of basketball players trying to come over here, so, and I feel like my system would work in college because of the talent we would have and the depth that we would have, just like we did here. So, so I don't know if that's answering the question, but
well, it does shine some light on the big question that everybody would want to know is: are you interested in? You could easily just say I have no interest in it, because you didn't say that.
Right.
That means it's open to discussion if somebody wants to contact you.
Well, the only way I look at that is because I look at what we've done for the last 2 years, and the same things you mentioned in terms of someone being in Houston and know you're not going to leave, so and being able to get the talent here from Houston, which is one of the things I heard today. They're really looking at. So in terms of that, I would think they would have at least called and looked at me because of what I feel like I could do over there. So from that standpoint, yes.
There's been some scuttlebutt about former Rocket and President Clipper assistant John Lucas having some interest in the position and possibly could be interviewing for it. If something like that was to happen, with an assistant coaching opportunity over there, with maybe the possibilities of it being sort of a coach in weight type of a situation, much like Muschamp and Matt Brown have with the UT football program. Is that something that you would consider?
It would depend on who it is. Obviously, I got a good relationship with John, so if that was it, then I'll be willing to talk to him about that. But on the same side, I look at what I do that nobody else does in the country, whether it's high school, college, or pro, in terms of the way we try and put pressure on it from the beginning to the end, and that's just my deal in terms of things that I feel like I've designed myself. I really would want to run my own program because I feel comfortable in doing those things and that I feel like nobody else does anywhere. So, and have been really successful at it. So it would depend on who it is, and I would mind talking with them in that way. But my mindset is that I feel like I'm a head coach because of the system that I run and what I like to do.
One question that I've heard many people ask, and I've heard different comments made about it. Haven't talked to Michael Young since I had you guys on the show when I was with CBS. Real quick, just a little bit about Joseph Young. With his father being, elite basketball fraternity pedigree, Phi Sigma Gamma, and then Joseph signing with Providence. Shed a little light on that situation, because that's something that has really kind of toggled everyone's interest around town, and I have to admit, even mine.
Well, I think it's pretty simple. They didn't really recruit him as hard as they should have. I don't know if it's because they just assumed that he was coming because the dad was over there, which I don't think that should have been, because I know Mike kind of told him that you need to recruit to make him feel wanted. So I think it's just as simple as you didn't recruit him as hard as you needed to, and thought you were going to get him anyway, even though you had been told what you need to do. So when that wasn't done, and he was getting, any kid wants to feel like they want it, and so other schools did a better job of making them feel that way.